All right. It's good to see you again, my friend. Today is Monday. Well, I actually filmed this yesterday on Sunday, but for some reason it didn't record. So here we are again on Monday, and I'm still in Bali. But you know who's not in Bali? Annabelle. My girlfriend actually left. She went to Europe on Friday. I took her to the airport, and yeah, we basically spend the last week mostly like most of my last week was actually enveloped in her vortex, and like doing some things before she leaves, like, hey, going to some nice restaurants, enjoying some quality time together, going shopping, doing kind of like packing, and kind of like helping with the checking off the last boxes and doing these last things before she leaves, which was a pretty good time. um Energetically, I feel good, I have to say. It was a little bit of a mixed bag. I mean, obviously, like, hey, she's leaving for an undetermined amount of time. It is like, hey, like some sort of a detachment that had to go through, like on Saturday. I mean, even Sunday, like I was a little bit off. Um, but nonetheless, I know that deep down it's kind of like, like, hey, this is what she really needs to do. And I feel that this is also helpful for me because it is also better for me. And while I am happy for her, that, like, hey, she's following her path and she's going on her journey, which I'm like super happy for her. Mostly gonna talk about me, and since it's my vlog, and yeah, I'm actually quite like excited for my journey and my path, because I have been kind of like enveloped in the relationship, and while I do love it and I do love her very much, to like spend all this quality time together, and like, hey, watch movies in the evenings, and then like cook together, and then kind of like, yeah, have somebody to look forward to come back home and then tell them about my day and like all this stuff. It is yeah, veering me like a little bit off track, or even if it's not necessarily like the relationship itself veering me off track mentally, it's kind of like an excuse, and yeah, over the past few weeks I've kind of like just started removing all of this distraction, and I think like the relationship is kind of like was the biggest distraction in my life, even though like I don't want it to sound necessarily bad, uh, because like I said, it was very lovely, but it did kind of like take up a lot of time, and like, yeah, now that like she's gone, I'm excited to like lock in. This is like my main goal right now, is to actually like lock in and do everything that's in my power to like move towards my dreams and to move towards my goals in building the things that I've actually want to build, and that I've been postponing for a long time for one reason or another. It was this, it was that, it was this, it was that. Now I'm like, cutting off all of those other things and trying to like stay focused on the tasks at hand, and that, like, right now at this point, like, that gives me excitement. um and yeah, part of the reason I feel like, like, hey, why I filmed it yesterday was kind of like that, for excitement, but I actually took action because yeah, anyway, I had a sort of a moment, like yesterday. uh Yeah, well, first of all, I went and I filmed some videos, like I actually like took action. And yeah, I went at sunrise, at sunset on the beach, and like I interviewed some people, I filmed some of these videos, which I've kind of like, been wanting to do for a while. And then I don't know, even kind of like the energetical thing, because like, hey, I was, like, I thought maybe she could help me, but I don't know if she wants to help me, and like blah blah blah. So I kind of like, put it off, but like still wanting to do it. And then I found somebody, a local girl, to like, come and like hold the camera for me. That's all she had to do, hold the camera for me. And like, it was a very simple kind of like, transactional thing. Like, I pay her, she holds the camera, she, does the things. And like, it was actually like much easier to, to kind of like detach like me and her, me wanting to ask her for help, and like wanting this, like, bro, okay, business, I get people to help me with the business, and then love, I do the love thing separate. And in this case, it's like later, because she's gone, so like I can fully focus on the business for a while until our paths will re tangle and realign. So I'm quite excited about that, actually. I'm quite excited to build the things that I want to build, so that I can reach the level, both financially and energetically, in a business sense, that I can actually like leave this island and go to um, go to places where, yeah, I actually want to go, like Europe for Christmas, and then go skiing, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe something else. I don't know exactly where our path is gonna lead, but like the point is that, in order to get to the next level, like I need to move through the resistance in the business and to move through all of these energies that are, I felt kind of like stuck, and I haven't really done action. So, um, all things considered, and on a different note, like last night, I actually like, and I was even talking with my AI in my journaling, and a lot, like I love it, like I've basically developed this, like very nice prompt that, like, hey, reflects, like I basically journal with the voice, and then it reflects a lot of cool things to me, but it's like very soft, and originally I kind of wanted it to be soft, to kind of like notice the, like, hey, I'm actually like, making progress, and this is not it, this is like that, and like, like it's been kind of like very soft and very loving, very compassionate, which has been something that I was like, like I was like looking for. But I also, like, I need to be more in my masculine. I need to take action, and yeah, I kind of like told it that, and after it gave me the nice response, I told him, is like, hey bro, like I want the more masculine response, like I also want, the more action oriented response. And without even me asking, it basically came up with this, like, 30-day masculinity challenge. And that was a really good idea. I thought about it. I'm like, wow, that's a really good idea. In order to, like, basically like start taking action and start, like to move through these things and like to make a commitment. And the thing is that, hey, I have the Terra commitment, which is kind of like my morning routine. Like I need to do it every morning, and I want to do it every morning. And then there's also like some other things that I want to do, that I want to track. And I've had, like habit trackers before. I kind of like have fallen off the wagon with those. And maybe that's also like, hey, why things have been so like, eh? So like, yeah, I basically like started doing this 30-day masculinity challenge, which is, it's something very simple, and it's related to, like, taking action, and then doing the most important thing first, before lunch, even if it's like, hey, so for example, today it was to like figure out like some sort of a, like, yeah, some sort of like a tool, like a process, which was very simple and very nice. And the point was that, like, hey, I did it. So like I had crossed, maybe like not the hardest thing, because it's not about the hardest thing, it's about the most important thing next. Anyway, somebody came, and I had to talk with them real quick, but anyway. Yeah, so I'm doing basically this 30-day masculinity challenge, which is more to kind of like arouse this, like, structure within my days, and kind of like, yeah, the just do it, just do it, just do it, just do it, even if I don't want to do it, like, just do it, and kind of like alignment with this. So I'm like super happy about that. It's not something that's like, mega complicated, but it is something that's like, hey, it's like trackable, it's like habit forming, it like, creates this kind of like momentum. And even this morning, when I did it, it actually felt really great to do it. And yeah, I'm quite excited to get it done every morning, and during the day, it's from morning until evening. But mainly like, hey, yeah, like start with the morning. And this morning, like I had a beautiful morning, like I had like a very long breathwork session and meditation, and I even like, I shot a couple of videos like in the morning. I had thought about it in the breathwork, and I'm like, okay, let me just do it right now. So like after I finished the breathwork, basically before my meditation, I took the camera, I shot it, and it was really nice. So yeah, super excited about that. And excited to basically like start taking action, and to start, uh, doing the things. And I even modified the prompt in order to, like, to when I do journal in the evening, to do to recognize these, like self, like sabotage patterns, and to like tell me like the harsh truth, like, bro, just fucking do the thing, basically. Which is also kind of like what I need to hear. I need the compassionate, feminine aspect of things, and I need the masculine, like, just do the hard thing aspect of things. So yeah, I'm quite excited about that. And from the love bubble that I've been uh exiting last week, to the action oriented, strongman that I am. That's basically, I think it sums up my last week's journey. And yeah, peace, and I'll see you next week.